There are so many great books of the Bible, so many good words, but I think there are some that are obviously better known than others. And I happened upon this book many years ago, and it stuck with me, and the Lord has really been bringing it to mind again. And I wanted to share it with you because I think we are at a time in our culture where this is coming to life, and we need to hear the words. The words are from the book Second John, not the Gospel of John, but Second John. It's one of the shortest books in the Bible. As a matter of fact, it's that short, two paragraphs. And I'd like to read to you the second paragraph of Second John. And it basically says this: many deceivers have gone out into the world, those who do not acknowledge Jesus Christ as coming in the flesh. Such is the deceitful one and the Antichrist. Look to yourselves that you do not lose what we worked for, but may receive a full recompense. Now, this line is the most important line in the book, in my opinion. And it reads, anyone who is so progressive as not to remain in the teaching of Christ does not have God. Whoever remains in the teaching has the Father and the Son. Let me say that again. That is huge. Anyone who is so progressive as to not remain in the gospel, in the teaching of Christ, does not have God. Progressives. We hear that a lot in this day and age. We're making progress. Oh, well, we're progressive because we don't want to go back 3 or 4 or 5 generations. Oh my gosh, they're trying to take us back into the Stone Age. Well, let's talk about progress. What is progress? If we go back, if we go back to an age where people were closer to God, is that progress or is that not? If we are going into things that take us far from God's teachings, is that progress or is it not? I think about in vitro fertilization. Every one of us could tell you how much good it has produced. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite humans was conceived in vitro fertilization. People say to me, well, would you not want my daughter here? That's a silly question. Why would you ask me that? But see, one right does not make a wrong. Or excuse me, 2 rights. 2 wrongs don't make a right. You know where I'm going with that. What happens when we progress so much is that we forget that with the good we are supposedly doing with it, though in those instances we are still taking ourselves away from God, that there's so much bad that can come with it too. I think of sperm donors. And I have a family member who's trying to conceive through a sperm donor. I have a family member who is a female who thinks she's a male. She's suffering with gender dysphoria, and she and her female friend just had a child. Of course, the female partner contributed her egg and had to purchase, let's just be honest, sperm from a man who didn't care that he was going to create a life. Is that progress? I've read testimonials from, well, the particular ones I'm thinking about were 2 separate women who were conceived by a sperm donor and said, if you think you are doing me any favors by bringing me into this world by some man who could care less about my existence, that he put sperm into a cup for money, that did nothing for me. And she said too, she goes, I loved my life, but it forever hurt me to look around at every man and say, are you my dad? Could you be my dad? Could you be my dad? I'm not going to go too far off the subject because my sister argued with me. Well, what about the one that doesn't mind? That's irrelevant. Our world would look at that as progress because look what we can do. I can make a human. But then I want to tell you, when does progress end? When do we stop seeing it as good and progressive and see it for what it is. I recently watched this news story, Church Militant, and the title of the story says, "Wombs Need Not Apply." There are now artificial birth pods that make wombs obsolete. It's called the ecto womb. All you need is someone's donated sperm, someone's donated eggs, put it together in a dish, and in these see-through glass pods, humans are coming to life. Of course, you and I know the only ones that can create life is God. But now no one needs to have it in their womb. No one need get a stretch mark. No one need having to worry about changing her body. Moms, dads, two moms, 3 parents, whoever can now own that child. Because it doesn't matter who owns the sperm or the eggs anymore. Remember, this is progress. We've progressed past that silly little thing where you need a mom and a dad. And the donors of that egg and that sperm were the official parents of that child. But now you can watch your child grow. People, I'm not kidding. This is real. You can also simulate the heartbeat of the mom in these fake wombs. You can also read to them. When the child's ready, they birth it somehow. Don't talk to me about being radical. Don't tell me I'm coming up with crazy stuff, because all that is some people are so blind they don't want to see that this stuff is happening. When progress makes us think that abortion is okay, because you don't want to hurt that woman. No, I don't want to hurt that woman. Even the woman who is a victim of rape or incest or sex trafficking. But when you search your heart and your morality and you realize that an abortion, killing the baby for the sins of the father, does not make the trauma go away. It makes you think about, is it progress that we have the ability to kill humans and call it good? Is it progress when now we can work on 7 days a week because we've progressed past those, what they used to call blue laws? Couldn't work on Sundays because back in the day, those old generations, that used to be called the Lord's Day. All stores were shut down. Most of you watching probably don't even remember those days. I'm only 58, and I remember Sundays being different because Dad was home. We'd go to church, we'd go get ice cream. We'd watch Disney at night, The Wonderful World of Disney, every Sunday night. Have we progressed? Because now you can go to a store 7 days a week. What is progress? Because if we go what is in this Bible, and probably all of us watching say we follow it, and it says anyone who's so progressive as to not remain in the teaching of Christ does not have God. So the kind of progress you want? I, for one, do not want to be progressive. If I'm ridiculed or insulted because I'm living the laws as God gave them, so be it. I don't need my fashion to progress anymore. I don't need to care about what other people think. I've actually started veiling in church because I thought, you know what? I want to go back to where we remember that was the Lord in the tabernacle. And I want to cover my head in humility, honor that God. Now, you don't have to. But I certainly don't want to be so progressive that I forget that God's laws are unchanging. And that really the only reason we are here is to get to heaven. That's it. You're here to pass or fail. You either choose God or you choose against him. You either choose to be progressive or you choose to remain in the teachings of Christ. So go look for yourself. 2 John, 2 John, that's it. Read it. meditate on it, and ask the Lord to open your eyes. Lord, when is it progress? When is it remaining in your teaching? And when is it taking me out of your teaching? I used in vitro fertilization as an example. There's so many other examples of ways that we've progressed, but have come so far away from God. So if you want to grow closer to God, read the Bible, meditate on it. Tell the Lord, I just want to grow closer to you. Give me wisdom, give me knowledge, give me grace. And hopefully you and I together will find a way on this journey, just doing what God wants. Even if it seems like we're in the Stone Age. I'm okay with that. God bless you. And if you need to get a hold of me, I'd love to hear from you.